4 or 5 years ago, we were looking at South Salt Lake, kind of looking at what we wanted to do here in this part of town.
Through our partnership with Utah Arts Alliance, we've both been talking about bringing murals into this community, and we realized that South Salt Lake was the perfect place to do it.
This is a light industrial area, which is basically a bunch of cinder block buildings that are perfect for murals.
Murals are a great way to bring color and vibrancy into a neighborhood.
We thought this might be a good opportunity for us to create a concentration of murals and also provide an opportunity for artists to have this place where they can create.
The overall goal of Mural Fest is to create 10 murals a year for 10 years.
So we would have 100 murals sort of concentrated within this creative industry zone of South Salt Lake.
The Creative Industry Zone is an area where we have a unique, diverse array of creativity, creative businesses, and creative minds.
It's a place that people can gather, kind of share ideas, and then of course we want to display art.
We start with a call for entries. Anyone is welcome to enter their work for consideration.
If you get in, then they say, here's the wall, here's when it needs to be done, and here's how much you get paid. And it's like, oh.
This was a really amazing experience to get to be an artist for the first time.
So this was my first mural. Yeah, I'm totally hooked. It's so cool to see your work on that scale.
Mural Fest is a great way for us to not only support artists financially, but also to provide them with an opportunity to show their work to the public that's free to everyone.
Having art like this that people can just basically go out of their house, walk around, stroll the streets of South Salt Lake. It's a free art gallery.
I'm a visual artist. I do paintings and love painting murals. I love to see my art big and in public spaces where it can benefit people's lives in positive ways. I love that art can just crop up in unexpected places.
I've been painting murals for 10 years. For me, painting a mural is a meditative process where there's a lot of time that is spent actually contemplating what I'm painting and what meaning does this thing have.
So a lot of times when I'm painting a mural and listening to music, I kind of just get lost in the visuals of it. That's very calming to me, to be that focused and that pulled in. The rest of the world fades away and all that's important is just making this wall look beautiful.
One of the most challenging but also the most fun part of the process is matching the artists to the businesses.
I did some sketching, did some renderings, and ran that by Mark at Level Crossing.
It is a brewery, and we just wanted to showcase some of the aspects of the beer and kind of identify the building, if you will.
He would come back with notes and ideas, and how about if we added some hops? How about if we did this?
It was a little back and forth, but Alex ultimately, he nailed it, and I couldn't have asked for anything more.
I've been drawing since before I draw everything. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, graffiti was really popular. And I did just as much graffiti as the next kid.
The fire station behind me is the first city building to have a mural on it in the city of South Salt Lake.
I wanted to create something that's kind of based off of what firemen do, and that's sort of life and death, situation, fire, water.
It portrays what we do. It signifies that it could be a safe place for someone who might need help, and we're a vital part of the community.
I'd like to think big pieces of art kind of enliven the vibrancy of the neighborhood, but also the people who work there.
I love it. The colors, it makes the building pop. You can see it coming down West Temple now. It really kind of brings awareness to local artists.
Artists can help build community and create beauty where nothing existed before.
The mundane of the daily life, it throws a little bit of splash into it. It adds a little bit of color, and color never hurts.
You go to a 9 to 5 and you come home and you try to forget about what happened throughout the day because it sucked. but you spend the same amount of time making a painting, and then you have a painting to show for it at the end, and you're like, look what I did.
A year and a half ago, we started clear coating on the murals in Salt Lake to protect them from weather, sun damage, vandalism of any sort. You can go back through and clean them up. It basically just puts a very thin membrane over the art so that if something happens, you can go and clean it up without damaging the actual artwork that's underneath.
50 years from now, I don't know what this place is going to look like. It's going to look completely different, but these murals are likely still going to be here, and they're going to shape the character of this neighborhood through that whole time.
It's just wonderful that South Salt Lake does this Mural Festival, because I really believe that art enriches people's lives. It just brings joy, and it brings me joy to do it.
We're really proud of how this has grown in the last 3 years, and really the reputation that we are gaining as becoming sort of the mural capital of Utah.
This could be a case study for around the world that people could look at South Salt Lake and the Mural Fest and what we're doing here as a way to transform their communities through art.
I feel really lucky to have been selected to participate in Mural Fest this year and produce a wall that I'm really proud of, and stoked to have it among all of the other amazing walls that have been painted in South Salt Lake.
Art just inspires people to be better, whether that's create more art themselves, or whether it's to fight for social justice, or whether it's to help out during a time of pandemic. Like, it's inspiring people to do something positive.